Listen to the following talk.
My boyfriend only contacts me between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. every day. After 4 months together, I still can't define his feelings for me. We met through a close friend's introduction, though it was late. My first romance came when I was already nearing 29. I've always found it hard to open my heart to anyone, but somehow I found myself giving my first love to him. Maybe it's fate, but few first loves last long. On our first meeting, my friend, he, and I went to a bubble tea shop. They mostly carried the conversation, but he left a singular impression on me with the gentleness in his voice. By the end of that meeting, we had exchanged numbers and started talking from then on. Our second date was dinner and a movie over the weekend. During the movie, he asked if this was a date, and I froze in surprise. To me, dating is for people who are already in love, while we were only getting to know each other. With encouragement from my friend, I chose to continue even though I wanted to stop after his abrupt question. Unexpectedly, I felt a spark with him on our third meeting, just because he turned back to look at me at a coffee shop. Looking back, I realize love is strange. It happens when you least expect it. That's when my feelings for him truly started. I'm straightforward and sincere, so once I felt something for him, I showed it, even if I wasn't sure how he felt about me. After a month of seeing each other, he suggested introducing me to his mother and family, who were visiting from his hometown. Though he hadn't said anything affectionate, I assumed after meeting his family that we both implicitly understood our feelings, so I started opening up more. One time, while discussing family roles, I mentioned how I thought a husband should help with things like putting the kids to sleep, feeding them, and bathing them. We argued about it. He felt I was demanding too much from him when I wasn't even officially in his life, and said he couldn't accept that. He pointed out he had never expressed his love to me and thought we weren't compatible, then cut off all contact. After 3 days of sadness and tears, I resolved to try one last time. So I reached out, and we started again. After reuniting, we continued dating and met his family a few more times, and he met mine once. Since we live far apart, sometimes he would come to see me, and sometimes I would go to him. My family worried I'd struggle with a different lifestyle, so they didn't support our relationship. But out of my affection for him, I explained my feelings, and eventually, they accepted. Since we could only meet on weekends, my mother hoped he would pick me up and drop me off each time, rather than me taking a bus. I explained that he worked hard and was tired, so it was okay for me to travel there and have him drive me back. After some initial reluctance, my mother agreed to let me travel myself. I truly care for him, and I've always wanted to take this further, but he's so rational about relationships. He spends time with me, goes on dates, yet never really shows affection. Can it be love if he doesn't say the words, even after hugs, kisses, and intimate moments? Can it be love if he spends the whole day saying he needs to focus on his career and doesn't text to check in on me? Is it love when meeting up or not meeting up doesn't seem to matter to him? To me, not seeing him for a week or not talking to him each day makes me feel profoundly sad, yet it seems normal to him. When we first got back together, we still had daily calls and texts, but now he's become increasingly distant. Who would think two people in love would only message each other from 9:30 to 10:30 each night? If I text him during the day, he doesn't reply until after 9. He chooses to talk when he feels like it, even though I'm the one who initiates contact almost every time. Maybe it's all in my head that we're in love, while I still can't tell how he feels about me. He always finds ways to avoid answering whenever I bring it up. I want to end this relationship. I can't keep chasing after him, sending messages and waiting for a response, waiting for dates as though it were a privilege. I can't stay in a vague, halfway relationship without any clear destination. Thank you to the one I shared my first handhold, hug, and kiss with. Thank you for the time we shared, for letting me know what it feels like to miss someone, to care, to ask how they are doing.
This content is just an example for learning English. Thank you for watching. How do you feel about this video? Please leave a comment below.